I'm ready. I'm not ready. Crush! No! Smash! Amazing! I am the slayer of kings and... Gotcha! I never miss! Oh, that wasn't right. This is all your fault, you know.
Hello, my friends. We are very glad to see you all again.
You just watched our trailer about an idea for a new Hearthstone co-op game mode.
Before we begin our video, we want to know your first impressions. If this mode were to appear in the game, would you play it? It is very important for us to make a realistic prototype to conduct this survey. Our main goal is to collect feedback and possibly influence the emergence of a cooperative game mode in the future.
In other words, we are trying to do independent marketing research for Blizzard. Please vote on our YouTube poll, it is very important.
If you think Hearthstone is in need of change, support this video, share it on social media and join the discussion. If you have your own ideas for a cooperative mode, feel free to share them in the comments with the hashtag Hearthstone concept. If this video gains more than 15,000 likes, we will make a new video and select one or several of your concepts from the comments for a visual demonstration, or also perhaps develop new game concepts on other topics.
The Hearthstone community is very creative, and has a huge number of different cool ideas. Let's combine our efforts.
Also, do not forget about our Bellringer Sentry, which personally notifies of our subscribers about the release of a new video.
Just subscribe to the channel, and then click on the bell icon.
Is that mad dog in here again?
Your tongue is sharp. Your wit is dull.
By the way, we want to apologize to all the Murlocs for the unpleasant incident that happened a few weeks ago. We took action and sent this wayward Worgen to the vet, where he was medicated.
Now let's get to the main point of the video.
Blizzcon will be held from November 1st to 3rd. Blizzcon is an annual gaming event held by Blizzard Entertainment to promote its major franchises. Traditionally during this event, a new expansion for Hearthstone is announced. The developers will show us a new trailer, talk about new mechanics, and also show some new cards. All of this is very predictable.
Do we really want to see this? Definitely not. 80% of players believe that this is not enough for as important and vibrant an event like BlizzCon.
The community is tired of the usual expansions and requires more radical innovations, such as increasing ranked awards, adding new game features and most importantly, adding new game modes. The developers definitely know this, and maybe in a few days we will get an incredible announcement.
Are you serious? Guys, it's so cute, you are so goofy and naive. I get the impression that you still believe that Great Father Winter actually exists. When the old gods wake up and destroy Azeroth, we might see a new game mode for Hearthstone.
Dora, do not be so negative. We believe that the developers will really show us something completely new.
Therefore, in this video we want to tell you about our concept for a 2v2 game mode and the main reasons why the mode has still not appeared. Also, we will show you different design concepts and ideas. Our main goal is to cause a lot of discussion among the community and developers.
Alright guys, where do we start?
Cooperative mode is what we have been waiting for the most, since the launch of the game. Blizzard often asks in official surveys, what is the likelihood of you recommending Hearthstone to your friends?
We are convinced that the possibility of fun with friends is the main reason to recommend Hearthstone to friends. A mode in which you are on a team is something that could truly breathe new life into the game. A unique meta for the cooperative mode, new decks, special cards, collaborative dungeon runs, cooperative game tournaments, unique combinations and just a ton of fun.
If this is so important, why haven't the developers done this yet? Perhaps they are hindered by their laziness and greed.
Dora, don't think so primitively. It's not that simple. We spent almost 9 months sorting through a huge number of ideas and concepts for this video. We drew different game schemes and came up with different rules. During this time, we encountered a lot of problems. Here are the most important of them.
The first problem is the lack of prototypes. Among digital collectible card games, there are almost no examples of successful implementation of the cooperative mode. The only exception we managed to find is the two-headed giant mode from Magic the Gathering. The main concept is that you take actions as a team rather than individually. Each team takes their turn together, attack as a team, block as a team, and even collect decks as a team.
This idea is too complicated to implement in Hearthstone. And this, by the way, is the second serious problem. Hearthstone is too simple.
Initially, Team 5 created an ingeniously simple and understandable card game for everyone, which has become loved by a wide audience. For the first time, a digital card game has become extremely popular. As you know, game studios are trying to repeat this success, but so far no one has managed to achieve serious results. Self-respecting gaming companies cannot just create a Hearthstone clone, they are trying to propose alternatives, but the results look more complex in terms of gameplay. Simplicity is a strong side of Hearthstone's, but on the other hand it can be a major weakness, since most complex tasks cannot be solved with simple methods.
And finally, the third problem is our expectations.
What are you talking about?
We mean the high expectations of the players. The simplicity of Hearthstone leaves us with space for our own fantasies that have nothing to do with reality. In our imagination, each in his own way sees future games, including new modes, and most likely the idea in your head is much more interesting than the realistic implementation from the developers.
Most likely, when you dream about a new game function, you aren't able to imagine how it will be implemented in the mobile client of the game, or how intuitive it would be to new players, or even how it would affect the duration of the game matches.
Perhaps for this reason, Blizzard cancelled tournament mode. The company may have seen that the audience expects it in a completely different way, in a form in which developers cannot implement it.
Knowing this, we don't seek to surprise you with our stunning ideas that will never be realized.
We tried to create the most simple concept for a 2v2 mode, and want to collect your feedback for the developers. Perhaps Blizzard still doubts how the audience might perceive a simple implementation.
Finally, let's discuss our idea. We propose creating for the mode 9 new ogre heroes, who will become a victim of the forbidden ritual, and will be fusion into one two-headed ogre.
You can invite a friend or play with a random partner. Each player has a Highlander deck with 15 different cards. After fusion, your cards are combined into one deck. Players take turns in rotation. You have a common hand, mana, life, the ability to use weapons, activate secrets, complete quests and use cards of a different class, but you and your partner have different hero powers. During the game, you cannot communicate with your partner via chat, but you can try to give a hint to him with the help of new emotes. Perhaps your partner will understand you completely wrong, but this is not surprising since you are an ogres.
It seems to us that this implementation is extremely simple and familiar from the point of view of the game processes, although on the other hand we understand that the community expects to see something completely different.
It's worth noting a few more concepts that have already been implemented in the game. The first most famous is Tavern Brawl against Mechazod or Nefarian. These are one of my favorite brawls. Based on this concept, a new 2v1 game mode can be developed, in which the third player can be the boss. The disadvantage of this idea are pre-made decks, which will quickly become boring. The second example is Tag Team, a 3v3 brawl that took place as part of a fireside gathering. In this brawl, when the first player loses, all creatures on the board are destroyed, after which the second player enters the game.
The game ends when one of the teams defeats 3 heroes from the opponent's team. Unfortunately, such battles last too long, and are not spectacular. In addition, you have to wait too long for some game actions.
But these examples suggest that the developers understand the importance of a cooperative mode, and are trying to experiment.
And finally, let's discuss the main concept players seem to suggest. We tried to implement this idea, but subsequently abandoned it.
In this concept, each player has his own deck, hand, mana and hero power, but a common life. Teams take their turn together. First, the first player, then the second player, after which the second team enters the game. Each player has only 30 seconds per turn. Players can see each other's cards and even transfer their turn to the partner using the pass button if it is necessary.
We really like this approach, since you have the opportunity to use your favorite decks and archetypes.
But such a game will last too long despite time limits, the mechanics are too complicated and poorly implemented on mobile platforms, and there are too many gameplay nuances. Which deck would you shuffle a bomb in? How many coins will players receive at the start of the game, 1 or 2? And that's not all. The answers to these questions are absolutely unclear. Thus, we can conclude that this is another interesting but absolutely unviable concept.
Of course, we can think through every nuance and even write a whole book with rules, but this is unacceptable for implementation in Hearthstone.
Once again, it seems to us that this mode can only appear if it is extremely simple to implement, with understandable rules, visually acceptable for use on mobile platforms, and most importantly if the audience is ready to accept it, since it will definitely not look like we imagine.
So, what do you think of this?
Have you changed your mind about a co-op game mode?
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for being with us.
And special thanks to Chris for text editing.
We will meet in new videos.
Good luck.